Okay, I never saw trailers or heard of you, but I'm glad I finally do. Hey everyone, it's Don G. Corleone here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review, and this movie review is going to be for a horror film that came out today to kick off the fall movie season, with summer finally long past us. We are getting close into the fall movie season and getting close to the horror movie season. So what other better way to do that is start off with a back to school film release. Usually in September. The rare time where a movie usually gets any funding, or people usually go to theaters because they're busy going back to work or school or college. On the very first week of September. And that film is going to be for a film I've never heard of, or probably never saw trailers for, never paid much attention to, was unaware was coming out, and that is going to be for the 2022 American supernatural horror film, Barbarian. Yes, so before I get into details, it's a supernatural horror film written and directed by Zach Kreger, stars a list of actors like Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long. Arna Mikan, Roy Lee, Raphael Mergos, and Dayton Lissa serve as producers on the film. Yeah, not much is known of its production. Once again, I know nothing about this movie. I just saw it without knowing anything or paying attention to anything. But here's the plot of the film. Well, Barbarian focuses on the story of a young woman traveling to Detroit for a job interview, books a rental home. When she arrives late at night, she discovers that the house is double booked and a strange man is already staying there. Against her better judgment, she decides to spend the evening, but soon discovers that there's a lot more to fear than just an unexpected house guest. So yeah. Barbarian originally was going to be released theatrically in the United States by 20th Century Studios in New Regency on Labor Day weekend on August 31st, 2022, before being rescheduled for release on September 9th, 2022. Cinema Blend and AMC Theaters premiered the film at the 2022 San Diego Comic-Con on July 22nd, where it garnered positive reactions. The film was also screened at the Arrow Video Fright Fest on August 29th. And so far, upon release, the movie has received positive reviews from critics upon release today on September 9th, 2022. As for my reaction, I have never heard of anything about this movie, nor did I see any trailers. However, I decided to randomly see the movie anyway because I needed a new release horror film to start off this fall now that summer is over. So I went to see the movie tonight. What did I think about it? Well, I thought it was decent for what it was, but nothing really too special. Given the name, I was afraid it would be a kidnappy gorefest / hostile style, or Saw style, but I was pleasantly surprised that it was not even remotely what I thought it would be. It's not what anyone really could imagine. The movie plays with their expectations of incredible success throughout its first two-thirds before setting to a more conventional finale, though still completely bonkers. Well directed, there are lots of faithful moments shown, not told through the actor's performance and the framing of the scene. Will Skarsgård delivers a creepy and twisty performance, while our final girl Georgina Campbell believably conveys both fear and bravery in equal measure. This movie also takes its time and has a massive second act hook that absolutely changes the film. It's a really huge sucker punch with absurd comedy. It's baffling at times, it's dark, it's funny, it's shocking. Barbarian even features this warped premise that could have been amazingly terrifying and unique, but, however, it doesn't really click well, despite a decent cast and solid direction from Zach Kreger, who also wrote the film. I think one of my issues with the movie is that the basic setup offers opportunities to go into some seriously dark and twisted places, but the final product only goes part of the way. Efficient work is made of the character introductions, like Kreger's script doesn't waste time at the beginning of each character's story. We get to know exactly what we need to know about each of them as a person before they get thrust into the metamorphical depths of hell. It makes the eventual conquer the more nerve-shredding because no character is disposable. And it is very well made too, but another problem, the story wanders and there's even an abrupt scene for a while of a completely different character that seems irrelevant to the rest of the movie. The characters... And here's this character. You get a cameo from Rob Zombie veteran actor Richard Brake. And his character is pretty irrelevant because he's only in one scene. In the one scene he plays, he's just some repairman driving around, visiting neighbors. He doesn't really have anything to do with the rest of the movie. The Barbarian itself is not entirely explained either, but has a pretty cool design. Well, there is some kind of thing revealed about his character near the end, but we don't really see any of it. We just see him in the one scene he's in, and then he's not in the movie after that. He's just gone. So, kind of pointless. And he's not the only other. And also Bill Skarsgård. He's also only the first bit of the movie. And his character, well, only thing I'm going to spoil is, well, before anything else happens to him. It's really the structure of the storytelling that gives this one a creative punch. Kreger serves up 3 different perspectives and then tries to wrap things up in a final act. I actually found all 3 puzzle pieces well done and interesting, leaving only the wrap up a bit lacking. In addition to characters like Tess and Keith, there's also Justin Long also stars in the movie as this cocky actor named AJ crushing along California coast in his convertible, singing along at full pitch, and then a phone call abruptly shifts the tone, and so AJ's on a flight leading him to the front porch of a rental property he owns in Detroit. Yep. Same urban Keith and Tess double booked. And then of course we have another flashback of Will Kip owns with perfectly manufactured lawns that didn't really have anything to do with the film. And right again, same house a few decades later before blight took over the neighborhood. It's in this stage where we note that the homeowner, Richard Brake's cameo, follows a young woman home from the store and gains entrance under false pretenses. If this seems a lot to tie into one horror film, that's because it is. We like to know more about Tess, we welcome AJ's neutral sarcasm, and Brake's early years could have been the creepiest of the bunch. Kreger excels in atmospheric tension, especially in his dreaded dark basement with hidden hallways and secret rooms. He's even clever with his misdirection and inclusion of contemporary issues like immediate ramifications of accusations and a defensive model that women must maintain when deciding to accept a cup of tea. I even enjoy the jolting cuts from one storyline to the next, but I will admit to feeling frustration that Tess was set up as such an intelligent person, only to make multiple decisions that force us to suspend disbelief, a trait of far too many horror films. Almost all the characters make really stupid decisions. Yeah. And now, basically, when it comes to more of Richard Brake's cameo that I'm going to reveal, and the twist I did kind of somewhat mention, his character cameo, besides what I just said, apparently has this twisted backstory where he's preparing for the birth of one of his children by shopping for baby goods, but it glosses over how he abducted the women and used them to bear his kids in his underground lair. Now his children grew up to have more children, until the result was the deformed mutant we see in the film that... Yeah, because, the antagonist of this movie is this deformed lady, that mutant lady, who kind of looks like a zombie, but she's not a zombie at all. So, yeah, the comparisons to Joseph Frizzle are interesting, and it would have been good to have seen them explored further. But we never really get them explained further, and I know this movie has like a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes, guys. I've seen better. Like, personally, this movie does not even come close to The Black Phone. The Black Phone, still the best horror movie of this year. Still the best. The best one. But this was alright. I heard nothing about this movie. I never saw the trailers. Only heard about it this week. Just heard some positive buzz, and it attracted me to see it. And it was a horror film. I needed a horror film to kick off the fall. Because fall season is horror movie season. And there's nothing really else coming out this month, much. So, I need some way to go to the theaters this month. But, yeah. So, I've got nothing else to say. In the end, Barbarian is an alright film that is mostly worth streaming online once it likely hits streaming platforms in several weeks. But if you want to kickstart the horror fall movie season with something enjoyable, then it wouldn't hurt to see this in theaters. Anyway, that's it for my review of Barbarian. If you're wondering how I'm going to rank Barbarian, here's how I'm going to rank this movie. So overall, if you were looking for a horror film to kick off the fall season, then I would recommend this film, but mostly stream it depending on your point of view. And if you're wondering how I'm going to rank Barbarian, I'm going to give Barbarian a 7 out of 10. There we go. That wraps up my review for Barbarian. This weekend I am planned to check out Prey tomorrow, hopefully. Then watch Beavis and Butthead America. Then watch Beavis and Butthead the Universe. Then find a way to rewatch Orphan. Then watch Orphan First Kill. I could do a quick thoughts on those 3 new streaming releases that debuted in the summer. I didn't really get a chance to check out. But yeah. Till then, guys, that'll be it for this review. Thank y'all for watching. And if you like this and want to see more, then don't forget to like and subscribe to Don G. Corleone.